Yeah, so competitive benchmarking really is just measuring your organization or your brand, your product, your service, but you're measuring something about your own organization against either people that you know to be competitive, well, other organizations that are like your known competitors that you've identified and you've tagged, or frankly, it could be like going out and discovering new competitors. A lot of organizations, especially clients we work with, have a lot of assumptions about who their competitors are, what makes them great against their competitors, where they're losing against competitors, and things of that nature. But we find a lot that like they've never actually quantified that or like dug into that on their own. And when you think about benchmarking, usually, you're thinking about doing quant research, not necessarily qual research, where you're doing more like exploring into the nuances of who your competitors are and what makes them or you different from one another. So it's really it's really important if you've never done it before, to give yourself a sense of where you actually are. You can validate your assumptions, you can falsify some of your assumptions, if you will. But a lot of the times, again, organizations we work with have not done it before. They're doing it for the first time.
Why is it important to work with a third party team when doing this versus just kind of like winging it on their own?
Yeah, I mean, third party, a couple of things. One, they can help you. They can help you kind of streamline like what your assumptions are about competitors. Like sometimes, an executive team might have their own assumptions about competition or the competitive market, or again, specifics and nuances of a competitor. That might be very different than like sales team or your service team and things of that nature. So sometimes part of the competitive benchmarking can include like upfront work just to get input from everybody internally in the organization. It's like, who should we measure? What should we measure? What do we know? What don't we know? And a third party can really just we always say like, oh, a third party could be like that neutral voice. Sometimes it's just another voice to like get people to talk to each other that don't normally talk to each other. Like if you can get input from an executive team, sales team, a service team, marketing team, like all those different things, sometimes those functions don't always talk to one another. So as researchers, sometimes we just get input from all those, and you can kind of see internally like where do we think the same, where do we differ. But you can then table all that stuff for feedback and design it into a study to then execute and get the measurement and do all the things that perhaps you haven't done before.